water for profit, dry taps for the people? The questions Trinidad and Tobago still deserves answered. An editorial by Professor Wall Street.
For years, thousands of citizens across Trinidad and Tobago endured prolonged water shortages. Families woke before dawn to fill buckets. Businesses struggled to operate. Schools adjusted schedules, and communities repeatedly protested what they described as an unreliable water supply. Images of demonstrations from Manzanilla, Barrackpore, Moruga, Central Trinidad, and elsewhere became a familiar sight.
Against that backdrop, reports that Blue Waters exported bottled water internationally and generated significant commercial revenue raised understandable public questions. The central issue is not whether a private company should be successful. Companies are entitled to operate and export their products within the law. The issue many citizens have asked is whether government policy adequately balanced private commercial activity with the public's access to an essential resource. A government's first responsibility is to its people. Water is not a luxury. It is a necessity. When communities are experiencing prolonged interruptions to supply, citizens naturally expect that every available measure is being taken to ensure reliable domestic access.
Many critics have argued that the former PNM administration has questions to answer, and here are 10 questions the PNM needs to answer. 1. How were commercial water extraction arrangements monitored while many communities experienced recurring shortages? 2. What safeguards existed to ensure domestic water security remained a top priority? 3. Were the relevant licenses, permits, and oversight mechanisms regularly reviewed? 4. Did the government assess whether prolonged shortages warranted temporary policy changes? 5. What role did infrastructure limitations, leaks, drought conditions, or water management play compared with commercial extraction? 6. Were citizens provided with sufficient transparency regarding these issues? 7. What measures were taken to accelerate improvements to the national water distribution system? 8. Why did so many communities continue protesting year after year over access to water? 9. Could stronger investment in water infrastructure have reduced these hardships? 10. What lessons should future governments learn to prevent similar situations? These are matters of public policy and accountability. They deserve evidence-based answers rather than speculation. The images of citizens carrying buckets, blocking roads, and pleading for regular water service illustrate the frustration many communities experience. Regardless of political affiliation, access to clean, reliable water is a basic public expectation. If private companies lawfully exported bottled water while domestic shortages persisted, the broader policy question becomes whether the government's management of water resources adequately protected the public interest. That is a legitimate subject for public debate. Ultimately, citizens deserve transparency about how water resources are managed, how commercial activity is regulated, and what steps are being taken to ensure that no community is left without one of life's most essential necessities. The debate should focus not on the success of any individual company, but on whether public policy consistently placed the needs of the people of Trinidad and Tobago first.